Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my tarot channel. My name is Paulina and this is actually an update on my treatment for alopecia. So for about 1.5 years I've been on a medication called Olumiant, which is the JAK inhibitor. JAK is seen as the pathway that leads to inflammation that causes hair loss. There's several of them actually, several JAK pathways, but this is supposed to interrupt that process, and it's been scary because it has a black box warning label. It's a very new drug, and I really have felt like a guinea pig, and I'm really proud of myself for like trying it. It was for 1 year I was too afraid, or probably it was out longer than that, but I knew that it was definitely out for 1 year, FDA approved, and I didn't take it. And then I said, you know what, I want to try this, and it was a miracle because I have my eyebrows, my eyelashes, I have body hair now. I had no hair on my body, and I'm getting spots of dark hair all over my head now, which I will share eventually. I've been showing the gradual white hair process, but now it's turning into spotty dark Dalmatian-esque hair, which is extremely exciting and surreal for me because I've had alopecia. I've had no hair I had no hair starting from age 18 on. I lost my hair originally when I was 13 fully. I started getting patches from age 12, and they would just grow back with cortisone shots. If you don't know what cortisone shots was, the old treatment for alopecia, or probably still people who have less severe alopecia still do it. It's where they inject cortisone into your scalp. I underwent that treatment for many years, and I lost all my hair when I was 13, but then got almost all my hair back, eyebrows, body hair, almost all my head hair. It was like growing to my shoulders, but like still some spots were not, there were like still patchy spots. So that's where I was at when I was 17 after doing squaric acid, which is where they paint acid on your head to make a chemical reaction so that the white blood cells are confused and they attack the inflammation that you're creating instead of what the body's saying. I also did like anthralin cream, which does the same thing, and vitamin E oil. I did all those things for years, and the injections in both New York City and in New Haven. And then when I was 18, I lost all my hair again. It just all fell out, and they told me to buy a wig, and I really accepted that as my reality for a long time, and I adjusted, and it was very hard. And I mean, it is hard, but I still have alopecia, obviously, but yeah, I guess this message is for anyone who's curious about Olumiant, which is actually baricitinib, if you want to know the actual name. So that's why I wear headscarves. I used to wear my wigs a lot, but I have been putting topical minoxidil on in addition to the wigs, and taking oral minoxidil. Also, part of my treatment is spironolactone, if you're curious. Anyway, so I don't wear my wig as much because I don't want to damage it in case I need it long term. So yeah, just a little update. It's taking a long time because, well, the eyebrows came pretty fast. At first though, after a couple months, if you are taking this drug, it takes 4 months for anything to happen. So be patient. So for 4 months, there was no sign of anything. And then I started getting little eyebrow sparks, I remember it was like 1 hair. And now I have full eyebrows, full eyelashes. Sorry to be graphic, but I had no pubic hair, I had no leg hair, I had no armpit hair, I had absolutely no hair on my whole body, and that's all grown back now, and which is a really good sign. And also just like hair like that you get on your arms and stuff, I had nothing, so that's been really wild to experience. I actually don't know if you can see it, but yeah. And now the head hair coming in dark patches and tiny spots is like really surreal and cool, especially for someone who's been told like you will not ever have your hair again, and how devastating that was. And I have not had any adverse side effects. So if you are interested in Olumiant, just know that the studies that they have done, you will be a guinea pig if you're young, because the studies they have done are with people who were like over 50 and had multiple health issues in addition to alopecia, and were on other medications such as methotrexate, which can, and the fear is that you could get cancer, you could, it lowers your immunity. So that's why there's a black box warning, because it exposes you to the possibility of like infection and other things. But I've been fine. And that's why I was scared to take it. But then I was like, I had the thought like I could always stop taking it if something did happen. And I'm very healthy. Like I'm an athlete, so I'm a swimmer and used to be a big runner. Do yoga and hiking, and so I'm like in good health in other senses. But one thing I will say that it was unexpected for anyone who's taking Olumiant or baricitinib, that your skin tone can change. It's wild. It may not be noticeable in this video, but I thought that I had a tan that was left over from like summer, but then I realized it's like December. And usually I'm like very pale, like not like albinism, but like extremely pale. And I have since taking this drug, I've noticed more pigmentation in my skin, and I read that that's because the myelin, sorry, not the myelin. I'm thinking of myelin sheaths. Sorry, I can't think of the right word. The pigment, I know the word, it's just in the back of my head. There's with an M. The pigment that makes skin tone and color, it's like all the same as like the pigment that makes your hair. So it's no coincidence that my pigment is becoming less pale as the dark hair comes in. It is a bit of an identity crisis. So that was an unexpected feature, that I'm actually not as pale as I thought. So which makes sense, because I have my dad is South American, so it's just been a bit of a mind F. And yeah, I truly believe that miracles can happen. And I know I was talking a lot about Catholicism. I was raised Catholic. I can't really help it. I don't love everything about the Catholic Church. I don't go to church, but I do have a connection with Mother Mary, so that's really sustained me through all of this fear. And also, I was reading a lot about Hinduism lately, and I wanted to share like 2 thoughts about if you are going on this medication. Like they have a lot of stories in Hinduism about like magical herbs, which is about Ayurveda, which is about like healing. But like there's a lot of stories about like people giving herbs that cure them or heal them. And also there's this thing called Leela, which is like, it means play of the universe. It means that everything is just like a dance. Every experience, negative or positive, we have on this plane of existence is just the universe playing, and like playing with what's at hand. And like we have to see every experience as just this cosmic dance, and that will help us detach. So if you can see this as just a Leela, if you're trying this medication, then it becomes less heavy in your mind. Because I know a lot of people with alopecia are attached to their identity of having alopecia, and it can be extremely disorienting to have that taken. So these are just some thoughts, and I hope that you'll consider taking this medication. It's changed my life. For one thing, when I exercise, it catches sweat now. That's amazing. And people know my facial expressions better with eyebrows. I used to get styes all the time, and now I have eyelashes, and that hasn't happened this whole time. I used to get at least a stye every couple of months because of eye infections from from having no eyelashes. My allergies have lessened because it changes your immune response, which is wild. I was a horrible allergy sufferer for years. So I'm sort of condoning this drug to people, and there's really not a lot out there about it. You know, when I went on it, there was barely any info anywhere. So that's why I'm putting it out there for anyone who's curious, because I know there's a lot of people suffering with alopecia still, and I want you to know that you don't have to. There's new treatments out there. And yeah, have a great day.